I'll do it. Hello, welcome to another episode of our Over the Limit podcast. It's our 10th episode. So
Wow, that's actually
the anniversary episode, and we have Earl Bamber, long awaited. As you can see, he's wearing, before we start, a nice T-shirt, which
It's the band edition.
yeah, the band edition. We can we can start with straight away. You can go with the story.
Wow. I mean, I think as all of you guys know, we used to do Vanthoor merchandise. I think we should probably do something for Le Mans since we're going to end up probably hitting each other on the track side by side at one point during this race. But
Yeah.
we were doing it and we did some awesome collections. I think the fans really like it. I see still a lot of people with it. And then for the final race, Lawrence came up with this great idea because we were doing the Coke livery to do a Coca-Cola one. And then he showed me the drawing and I said, no, you're not allowed to do that. And he was like, no, I'm just going to do it. Just go for it. And I was like, no, you're going to get in big trouble for it. And then he was like, no. If we don't ask, no one will tell us off. So then eventually someone caught wind of it because we sent the boxes to the team, right? Who told on us? Like Aaron?
I think I ended up asking someone in the end, or like behind the scenes a bit, not the big people, but
Yeah, and then we ended up in a meeting with Pascal.
no way.
and the box of T-shirts had to be destroyed. But I think there's
No,
somewhere
no.
at your place.
No, it got better because first of all, we went in the meeting and then you started to argue about who's going to pay for the T-shirts you've already made
Oh my god.
and that someone needs to compensate him for these T-shirts that he's... And caps. I think it was like, what, 200 caps and 200 T-shirts?
Yeah, but the caps are not made yet, I think.
No, I have the caps.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
Fuck.
200.
You can sell them now on eBay.
Exactly. It's good advertising. No, and then we also played that prank with you with a lawyer. Because we
Yeah.
did the test day and we had all the big people of Coca-Cola come out, like the chief guys and stuff like that. And then I said to them, yeah, what we need to do is get a lawyer's letter and we need to pull Lawrence out and into a meeting. So we pulled him out into off the side. And the guy came and said, yeah, Mr. Vanthoor, we understand that you've got like illegal merchandise. And he was like, and they handed him a letter and he's like, yeah, but I didn't sell them. It's okay.
Yeah, I found that one pretty good.
Yeah.
Did it say like you get like
It was
sued?
it was
or-
a prank.
It was a
yeah,
prank.
no, but it wasn't a proper letter.
No.
Ah,
We
okay.
just but we got the real lawyer to give him the paperwork and he was like, oh no.
So yeah, that was introduction this
Yeah,
time.
that's-
So as you can see, we have Earl Bamber here. We always start out with the things you've won. So not much, but
No, not much.
no, twice Le Mans, IMSA GT, LMP1 World Champion, Super Cup, 24 Hours of Spa. Forgot probably something. So
Second at Macau a few times.
behind me, yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wow.
So not too bad.
Yeah.
So let's jump straight into it.
Yeah. Hit me with the hard questions.
Here it comes, mate. Where did your motorsport passion came from?
Ooh, that's a good one. I grew up on a farm in New Zealand.
You're driving tractors or?
No, just driving Dad's car around the paddock.
Crashing it.
into stuff. Wrote my first car off when I was like 11 years old on the road, on the main road. And then, so I was driving there with Dad, and then we used to drive down to our letterbox, which was 8 Ks away. So he would put me on his knee when I was a kid, and we'd drive down there. We crashed many times and got stuck and walked home many times, and Mum was always happy. And then when I was like 6 years old, I drove to town, which is like 70 Ks with Dad, and then she got really angry and called the police on him.
No way.
Yeah. So,
His parents got divorced, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Then we got a go-kart. So then we started go-karting. And actually, I was bloody useless.
Oh,
I was
yeah?
driving around so slow. And after a year, my dad came to me and he goes, hey, do you really want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I really like it. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm sick of driving around getting lapped. So can you hurry up? And then one day I saw a big trophy and I was like, yeah, I'm going to win that. And my old man was like, mate, you're useless. Have you seen yourself? You're still last. And then I won. And then, yeah,
From there it started.
from there it started.
But I obviously know where you come from in the family, but like you said, coming from a farm in New Zealand, is it seems like the other side of the world for us. And how do you get to motorsport there?
Well, first you need to come and visit one day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I want to.
You still didn't
You
go?
were planning to have a bachelor party there, but then you
Yeah,
get single again.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, you know my cycle. It's 2 years.
yeah, that's what I said.
So yeah, like my dad used to go around go-karting when he was younger, because he just breeds. Well, he has a hunting safaris park, so that's what he does. But he has a big passion for racing. I think he raced himself, but he was useless. And then he also did some mechanicking in Asia Pacific go-karting, like at the World Champs and stuff like that. So he was like quite in the know. And he was good friends with a guy called Raymond Hart. So Raymond basically taught me how to drive. And I actually lived with them when I was maybe 9 to 12-ish, just go-karting every week. So that's how I got into it. But New Zealand's big. We have like, I think, is it 8 to 10 go-kart tracks in the North Island only?
I also heard in a podcast lately with Scott Dixon, where he was telling me there's some kind of group of people who help fund and help young drivers, which I think you were part of as well.
Exactly.
I didn't know that. For a while.
We're super lucky in New Zealand. We've got a lot of guys that are, like, love motor racing. So there's like a crazy fact in New Zealand. I think there's like, is it like 1 or 2 million people go watch a motor racing event a year, and there's only like 5 million people in the country. So like it's a big thing for the whole country. And if you imagine, we also have 8 permanent racetracks in the country with 5 million people. So like it's a big racing passion. But I was lucky that I got picked up into, after that, Formula Ford. I was sponsored by Powerbuilt. Then I was sponsored by TradeZone, which is a big tool company, and then I ended up getting sponsored by the Giltrap Group. And the Giltraps are a huge family for New Zealand motorsport, and without them, I think most of the Kiwis you see around the world at the moment wouldn't be where they are. They just have a huge passion for it. They don't ask anything from anyone. They just want to see Kiwis succeed. They helped Brendan go in Formula One. They helped me with A1, Super Cup. They even help me with a scholarship still today with young Kiwi drivers. So, and I think nearly all the Kiwis have Giltrap Group on their helmet. And without that, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I think we're pretty lucky in a great motorsport community from that point of view. And that's why you see so many good drivers. If there's someone talented, people get behind them and let them go, which I think is different to like Germany and Belgium and stuff like that, where it's pretty tough.
Belgium.
Well, we have the RCB, and that's it.
Yeah, but it's far from. There is a bit with the federation, but
they try
maybe 5% from what it sounds like how it happens in New Zealand. In general, motorsport in Belgium, unfortunately,
especially
is
not the
like we should normally
awareness.
be in the news every day, but we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's also a cultural thing. Like everyone in New Zealand likes it, and also then people work to get it in the news. And again, the whole country likes motor racing, whether it's not just circuit racing. We've got like jet sprints, we've got rally racing, we've got a huge speedway community as well, where like all the like Carl Larson and stuff like that come down there every summer. So it is just a big thing in the country. So everyone does like it. So that's also helps get in the news. So we become famous there.
So when you come home, everybody's waiting at the airport?
No, but it's such a small country, so you see people all the time.
Yeah, so
There's only 5 million people. It's small, very, very small.
Oh, but it's nice to have such a big motorsport community in the country.
Mm. From there on, how did it involve you joining Porsche? I think it was quite a rapid...
Well, actually, I did single-seaters for a while, trying to do that dream, and then ran out of money. So then I didn't race from 2009 or 8 until 2010 was my last race. And then I came back racing in 2013. I moved, and I was just being a driver coach and surviving. And then a good friend of mine, Adrian, he saw me drive once, and he was, oh yeah, quite quick. So then he let me drive a cup car, and we managed to big burrow and steal our way onto the grid, basically, taking people's, actually, Reagan's old brake pads or old tyres and stuff like that, and managed to win the scholarship. And then from there, that was my one and only chance to get in, so I had to win that scholarship. I still remember going there in 2013 to Oschersleben and doing this shootout, and then I got chosen as a junior. And then went into Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. From there, also got picked up by Timo to do Carrera Cup Germany, and I was doing Carrera Cup Asia, so I was doing all the Carrera Cups. And then, that's where I got to meet a lot of people from Porsche. And then later in that year, I ended up getting a test with the LMP1 car, but also because they'd heard that I'd done some single-seaters in the past. So without that single-seater background, I think I would have never got that chance to go into it.
Because I remember the other ones were a bit shocked that they lost your place to pretty much a junior.
Yeah,
back then.
exactly,
So, yeah.
exactly. It was a bit controversial, I would say.
Well, is it when you did LMP1, you came straight from the junior thing?
Yeah, I came from Carrera Cup, mate.
Well, was it 2014 or 15?
14 was my first test. I remember sitting there with actually Carl Wilson Clark. Do you know Carl?
Yeah.
And
But it was a shootout. Back then they had a shootout for the LMP1 seats.
yeah, it was me and the last two was me and Fred.
Yeah.
We had a shootout in Abu Dhabi. It was like 10 laps, and then a small break, and then 5-lap quali run, and then done.
Yeah, but
So-
this, to be honest, and that's when people ask me in the past from what's special about Earl or what's he good at, I say nothing. But then later on, no, and seriously, it's his way to, or your way to quickly be on the pace. First thing I remember when I won the Macau Grand Prix on the first practice, I was first out of pit lane, I think, and he was behind me in the Porsche, and he was on the outlap, like in my ass, flashing, like, fuck's sake. I didn't know him really back then, so let him by. I had Earl by, and it was the first lap of free practice, and everywhere he's like 2 centimeters of the wall. I was fuck, who's that nutcase? It was Earl. And the same when you were in LMP, and then he came back to RSR and rode Atlanta, which is also pretty exciting track. It took you like 5 laps to be within a couple tenths of us, which were driving there the whole day. And I bet that's what helped you as well, and to get the LMP1 seat, that strength.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like, you're doing WC now, so you see you don't get any track time at all.
No.
You know, so you've got to be really super onto it. And I think that's what's difficult these days is that I was lucky when I was driving. I've driven like a lot of different stuff, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive stuff. And I think that all helps to be adaptable as a driver. And I think it's also a bit of a lost art from, I would say, some younger drivers where they just focus on single-seaters and a single technique. But when they need to be adaptable, then they don't really know how to change anything. And I think it's also a Super Cup thing, because in Super Cup, you have this car, you can't change anything. I mean, you've driven a 911, they're not that easy to drive, and you have to really be adaptable. And I think it does teach some good stuff. But like I said, if I couldn't have done the previous single-seater stuff with like GP2 and A1GP, you also would struggle because you need some experience with high downforce cars.
Sure.
How's life after Porsche now?
It's good, actually.
Do you miss us, or are you like, fuck's sake, have him go?
Fuck.
Off the record, I'll close it.
No. No, I mean, to be honest, I think we all had interesting time during COVID and different scenarios where it all played out. But for me at the time, I wanted to be inside the LMDH project. To be honest, so it was a clear goal of mine. I think I made it pretty clear with them, but they were just still and R-ing and stuff like that. So actually, I got an Instagram message from Scott Dixon. If I wanted to have a chat with them about a project.
Okay.
And to be honest, it went pretty quick. It was all done in about a week.
2 minutes?
Yeah. It was done in a week, flew over there, and it's been really refreshing to just do something different. I've been there, it was nearly, 9 years. So it was nice just to have a different experience, do something different with a different group of people. I've really learned a lot. Chip's an awesome guy to drive for, to be honest. He's a huge motorsport fan and just absolutely loves it. He comes to all of our tests, he flies in, and out of nowhere, he's there at the track. He's probably a little bit like Roger, and I think there's 2 teams in the world when you're a kid you want to drive for. I think one's Roger Penske, and the other one's Chip Ganassi. They've fought each other for so many years, and they're legends of that, American stuff. So it's really cool to drive for them. It's different to drive for GM. It's also cool to have a bit of freedom. They're really nice to drive different GT cars. It's fun to do the stuff on the Nordschleife at the moment with the Ferrari. And it's nice to have a good battle with people from Porsche, to be honest. It's like, when you want to beat your little brother. It's the same thing. We want to beat you quite bad. And now you're in a car, so it's even worse.
Yeah,
But
we wrote about last time. We haven't seen each other on track yet. Probably
No.
better.
It's probably better because it might end up probably like what happened at Nürburgring last year between the both of you.
Imagine we go to Le Mans and the three of us find each other on track.
Ooh.
Fuck's sake.
But I think that yeah. Cut.
But also, to be honest, I still run customer cars for Porsche. I
Yeah.
still have like a couple
Kind
of
of
them.
relationship.
No, and to be honest, on a customer racing side, they're doing a great job.
Mm.
You know, like I looked at it and I think they still provide some of the best product on the customer
Yeah.
side. They have like, 8 Cup cars in Australia, 2 in Asia, GT car, and we're running 2 Porsche GTs at Spa. So I'm still doing Spa 24. And
How is it for everybody listening? 'Cause I've dealt with it like firsthand, seeing you building up the team and the amount of stress it brings. But how is it live as a team owner and a race car driver at the same time? And often you actually even race for your own team and cash and double the money.
You then get out of the car. You fucking idiot. Like, 'cause it's your own team.
I can do that.
You're fired.
I can
Well, he
do
does it.
that.
He also does it in every other
I do
team.
it in every other team as well because I hate losing. Lawrence will know it's one thing I hate is I hate losing. So if it's wrong, I get quite angry about it.
Little bit.
But no, it's actually been quite good. I mean, it was difficult in the beginning, but to be honest, now I've got a really good group of people around me. So I don't actually have to do much. I just have to sell and get the money in. And then I hand it over to them and then they go run it. Because if I have to do something at the track, there's something, wrong. And I think we're going to do like 30 race events this year. I maybe
Right.
only will attend like 5 or 6. So I actually don't go to any of them. First time I went to Australia the other day was the first time I stepped in the workshop in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because I remember us doing IMSA and not when we were working, but then in the evening or the afternoon where we're not driving anymore, it was quite relaxed days. I was looking at bike parts and Earl was working his team and looking at a new bench or a new fuel rig and all that stuff.
Exactly. But to be honest, it gives you a different perspective as well because it gives you a good perspective of like what the team's going through. So it helps you to know when the right time is to push on the team because you know that they could get things sorted or organized and when is the wrong time to push because you just know that they're up against it with, time constraints or mechanics and stuff like that. So it does actually help as a driver and you learn how to like push and pull on the team at the right moment. So that's been pretty cool.
But do you enjoy it because it's motor racing and enjoy the fact of being a team, or is it also a good business? Because often they say motorsport being a team owner is not.
As well. If it like, I mean, I don't
best
need to know
investment.
the whole thing, but if it's like,
What's your return
Profit.
on investment?
yeah, what do you make it? What do we make here?
It's okay. You're definitely not going to become a multi-millionaire, but
No.
it's okay. And to be honest, I enjoy it because I enjoy the competition side. It's nice to line up against teams and try to be the best team on the grid. We still have to be customer racing because we don't have millions of dollars to go run pro cars. But for what it is, it's going to be cool. I do Macau this year as a pro car with myself. Yeah. So I might see you there.
I haven't heard anything yet.
No? Oh, okay. See.
Is it pro? Is it like a pro thing again this year, or
Should be, yeah.
Ooh,
Oh. You want to come along?
oh, maybe I have to ask if they go.
Yeah, better get on your phone. No, but like doing those sorts of events, Nations Cup was really cool for us last year. Doing those sorts of things was it's good fun, honestly. But yeah, teams do make money. I mean, there's a reason why some of those old guys have been around for so many years. If you ever look at like some Super Cup teams or something like that, everyone complains that they don't make any money, but they're still there year in, year out for 20, 30 years, the good teams. I mean, there's bad teams that come and go, but they're big, good teams. And I'm sure they all don't do it for fun and they don't have big trucks and buildings and stuff like that from nothing. So, I mean, it's like any business, right? You have to run it right and to have a lot of passion to make it successful.
You can't just go run pro cars here, everywhere, and that's
someone has to pay for it always,
exactly.
right? So that's what you've got to remember. And I think you've just got to be careful that you don't get too enticed into spending your own money or ever spend your own money. But as you know me, my second favorite hobby is counting my money. So I don't like.
Do you just go like in the car and you cash your cash money, or
What's that?
you just count your cash money, or like just?
No, I just have my spreadsheet and just check everything.
Earl is the king of spreadsheets. There's a spreadsheet for everything.
Exactly. It was like when he was making his buildings, I was like, yeah, you should do this and this, and
Yeah.
he was on it.
They were part-time business owners back then, and we were winning.
Yeah, we were winning. He was doing his big business, but that was actually impressive as well to see his Lawrence's entrepreneurship, to go and find that piece of land and outbid the local city council and manage to get the Mexicans to build that thing was impressive.
It's still standing.
Just.
Yeah.
I remember the last thing that you were doing.
Just.
I remember the last thing that you had to finish was that driveway that they wouldn't give you the cert for, and then you
Funny,
just
yeah.
text them and was like, "Yeah, whoever turns up first can have my check here, and it's ready. Come now." And one guy turned up, and like 40 minutes later, the others turned up, and you're like, "Sorry, mate, it's too late."
This was, I mean, the whole thing was same like you with the team owner. We're so into racing and then sports and all of that, but living this is like a completely different experience. And I think you don't have this race, so don't listen, but
All right.
this competitive edge with whatever we want to do in motor racing, we want to be the best. So you always have problems and you find a solution. That's how sport works, and you go further. And the same goes in the team owner or building tiny houses or playing golf. Is you have a problem and you try and find a solution, and I think
when
that's
I don't
why
find my
we
ball.
no.
Yeah, but I think it's also good for like us, because one day we do retire from this.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's good to do the team stuff, to learn to run a business, to operate stuff, because maybe you want to do something completely different. But if you go do something completely different, like build a house or something like that, you have no idea, because our whole life has only been motor racing, and
Yeah.
it's an industry and a group of people in a circle that we know like super, super well. So it's a bit easier to probably start something in racing, you know, like the good people, the bad people, you know, the suppliers.
Sure.
As a driver, we know how it should be. So it is a bit easier to, like, let's say, build something. And it's like the buildings, once you did it once, now you've done it, you'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, I know how to do it again with confidence. And it's also a good life skill, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, you can take that into, we're getting old now, you know, so it takes it into
How old are you
retirement.
now?
33.
33.
Yeah,
I'm getting 32 in 2 weeks.
exactly.
I'm 25. I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah, I got 25 like 4 days ago, 5 days ago. You didn't text me.
Nah.
No, I remembered it.
Yeah.
Best part of Lawrence and the worst part of Lawrence. There's a good one.
Ooh.
You can be completely honest.
The best part of Lawrence.
Need to have a drink.
No, the best part of Lawrence is that he's so competitive. The guy will starve himself to gain 1 kilo and half a tenth at Le Mans, and he'll
Half himself.
no,
Pretty much.
seriously, no. I mean, and every week there's something new about how he's going to go faster, you know. And this, he never stops with it, whether it's like weight or setup, which is a bit scary when he starts to talk about setup. It's about as good as you.
What do you mean? You talk a lot about setup or not?
I'm leaving Earl to the talking.
All right.
What's a heave spring, mate?
I have no clue, mate.
Yeah, exactly. See, no, but that's the really good point about him, is that he's absolutely relentless in it, and that's what makes him a good driver. Is you know, he's never going to stop until he wins. You know, and it doesn't matter if he needs to fire himself into the barrier, which we've seen him do quite a few times. But that's all about it. He's going to be committed, and he's never going to back out. Yeah, the worst part about him. Oh, he likes to piss in the seat, which is.
Oh my God! Did he do it when you?
Yeah,
were
he did it with me a few times.
Oh,
I remember one
mate.
time in.
Yeah, but not in IMSA, not the short races.
Yeah,
Did I?
yeah, but the
Okay.
worst one ever was at Team 75. We pitted one night, and they forgot to drill a hole in the bottom of the seat.
Oh my
I
God!
remember that.
And I sat down, and I was just like, "You asshole!"
It was literally a puddle.
It was a giant
I
puddle
would
in there.
honestly not get in, mate.
But he has a seat insert because I'm way bigger than him, so he doesn't feel it. So like he just took it out, and I like sat down, and I was like, "You ass!" And I had to sit there for that 45 seconds while you wait for the fuel to come off, and it's just like shit.
Oh mate, I would honestly not get in. I would like say, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, what the fuck? I
Well,
mean,
what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, tell them to drill a hole quickly. I don't know.
So
Ah,
no, there's not many bad points about it.
That's cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Still some Vanthoor bromance.
You still you still hold hand each other when you see each other, like still give each other a kiss?
We don't see each other that
Yeah,
often.
we don't ever
It's because like before we're like constantly together, but it's typical about motorsport. And then you part ways, and then you're so busy, and you're more in the States with the team. I'm more here, and we see each other on a racetrack. It's the first time I think really privately we've seen each other.
It is funny as perception in the paddock though, because some people they come to me and go, how the hell do you deal with that guy?
Yeah,
Like
could imagine.
when he keeps crashing into stuff and things like that. But I said, to be honest, I'm also not that much better. And it's the same thing when you're all hungry to win and stuff like that. You have to take it to the limit, and you have to
Exactly.
push. And when you have guys in the car that you trust, to do it and to win, those things happen as well. So, but it is kind of funny to hear the other side, because in Porsche it's quite bad. I have to say, like all the drivers just stay together in their little group, and we sit in the truck, and you don't see any Porsche drivers around, if you know what I mean, ever.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it was like that in the RSR as well in IMSA.
That's what I
We're
mean.
always
We're just in the
between us.
truck working, but you don't ever see like really any other drivers around the place, if you know what I mean.
I always spoke about with Nick and even with Patrick the years where what was it, 18, 19, 20, 21? If you look back at it now, it was awesome years. It was proper fun. We had like proper competition, cool program, nice cars.
I mean, those
America.
GT cars were awesome
Yeah.
in American racing, and like against the Ford project and, Corvette and
Ferrari.
everything like that, when we had 17 cars. But I think we're going into the same thing at Le Mans coming up.
Yeah,
We're
true.
going to have 17 to 20 cars once Dries finally turns up. It's going to be pretty cool.
It was a cool couple of years with Nick.
Yeah.
Nick wanted to have beers and wings every evening. I wanted to have a rice and salad.
Yeah, but what do you do now? Now you take your own food to the racetrack.
Yeah, but he was talking about 5 years ago.
But
But he found another way now.
What does he do
He kept
now?
improving. Well, he takes his own bag. I think he comes. No, I have my own.
come on.
Yeah, just take my own food.
What diet is it this week or at the moment?
This week. What diet is it today?
Gluten-free.
Gluten free. What happened to keto?
Well, I figured out it was actually gluten. I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's why keto kind of worked, because you don't need any carbs.
Do you still have the thing on?
Not now, because I'm out. They're on pre-order.
Because all the people thought you were diabetic and just giving you a pat on the back like, well done, mate.
Well, I also had one for 1
3
week.
days.
No, I had one. 1 week.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how everything works.
It
But
is
I don't know why you wear it the whole time. I mean,
Because
once
I
you
use it a lot in training as well.
yeah, but once you do your training and your daily life, you know what's good and bad.
No, but I mean, I'll explain in detail. It's people who are not figuring out what we're talking about. Glucose sensor, Super Sapiens.
Yeah.
I use it because
Hashtag
I
Super
lost.
Hashtag super same.
Yeah.
You want a discount next time?
I had a talk with them last week actually.
Got a
Just 2 more
box.
sensors.
He's even got a sacred coffee there, just so he can get a new coffee machine again.
Upgrade.
No, for example, I lost, and I'm not advertising for them, but to give an idea why I use it is first for food, to understand what kind of foods are good for you and what not. Like try and drink a Red Bull or a Coke when you have this thing on.
Yeah.
You're like, holy
you see
shit.
it peak.
Then you know what people say about it. But in training as well, I lost 5 kilos over the winter, and for me it was a perfect tool to. You literally see in your body how much fuel you have when you're out training and you're doing training and your blood sugar is not coming up because you've been dieting a lot. It means you're on the too extreme edge and you're simply empty. If it's like high a lot of the times, it means you're full and you're not. Yeah, I mean, you learn how to deal with your body and how it works, and that's why I use it.
Yeah, but I just want to say that if you do it like 2 times, let's say you know what your daily life is.
Like, yeah, I don't need it every day, but if I go to a race or I know when I'm going like on a week of training, I use it. Because sometimes in cycling, for example, at day 3, you're tired and you don't know why in the past. And then you have this thing on and you see your glucose is low all the time, the whole day. Well, it means you haven't eaten enough. And then you charge a bit more and your training goes better. But that's me being
Yeah,
No, but I took
don't
some
have this
stuff
pro-
from you. I learned a bit of stuff about that from you.
Are you
so
trained as well?
Sometimes. I just don't post anything on Strava.
Oh.
Oh.
Are you that type of guy?
Yeah, I'm that type of guy. Okay.
I've
You
got
still
a,
have your bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, serviced. It's ready to go.
it's surfaced. Put some lube
The
on.
mountain bike I've been on actually, but
Yeah.
I don't trust American drivers and
On the road.
On the road. Maybe I should come down to Florida and bring my bike and
We're going in August, probably the whole month.
yeah, then I can come for a ride. I still got all my gear.
I remember now we spent, when it was COVID, we had to stay there between the races. And I think we spent like a whole month in the house together.
More because we
Yeah.
were waiting for the race to start.
Yeah.
Remember, and then
Ranger came as well.
Yeah, Stefan and the German guys were around the corner,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was pretty fun actually.
Yeah.
A lot of training.
He bought a bike. He came on the rides.
Wow.
I did my
remember.
like 130k ride, like straight out the gate.
Yeah.
No way.
And I remember telling him it was group rides on a Sunday. It's like 110 kilometers. And he has big legs, so he's strong and sprinting. And I told him, look, the first 20, 30K is easy. And then there's a bridge. And after that, they go flat out, turn around, flat out on the bridge, and then go back easy. But just stay in a group. Don't go up front. Just easy, see how you feel. And then if you feel amazing, by any wonder, you can go ahead.
I felt amazing.
Yeah, he felt
It was an
amazing.
amazing day.
So we go, we start the bridge, Earl. Everybody's like, huh, what? And then after the bridge, the other guys get going over us. But
got dropped.
honestly, he held on for a lot longer than I expected him for the amount of cycling he's done in the past.
Yeah, I was hanging on for dear life
Yeah.
out the back.
What's your most memorable moment in Vanthoor history? I have 3 written down, but let's see what you say.
In Vanthoor history. God. We have so many of them actually. A good one was when we had our big argument in Macau,
Yeah, we're like, huh?
when you went in the fence again. And then you came to the
Oh, yeah?
and then I was for sure going to get a penalty.
But it was your fault.
When?
No,
when you flipped?
No. The other time when me and Matara were just trying to hit each other down the straight and he thought he would join. And then me and Edo were definitely in trouble for it. So we were like, okay, we're going to be... And then this guy comes from nowhere and he just comes in and basically told the stewards that they can fuck off. And then...
Oh, that side of the story. Yeah. No, then you need to tell it completely then.
No, you can explain it because
What
it
year
was your
was it?
story.
What year was it? Were
So
you at
it
Porsche
was
already?
the year after when we were both at Mantai on the start, and I crashed in corner 1. He and Edo were side by side, and I was coming, and I had like a huge
You
draft.
tried to go
bolt car.
3 wide on the inside.
Onto Mandarin.
Yeah.
But the draft I was
See,
having,
that's the face.
I was gonna have a good. I was coming with like 5 to 10 Ks of draft, and the moment I go next to him, Earl, I don't know what happened, moved on the bump or he wanted to hit Edo, and they all did like this. Edo hit me, and I lost the car, and I went left. It's on YouTube together with the other 20 videos of me. And it was a pretty, it was a pretty big impact. And like I didn't feel well. I had a headache, and I mean, the corner is a quick corner.
I crashed there as well.
Yeah.
Did you?
And I stood there for half an hour with a headache. Nobody came to me. Like it's a FIA race. Nobody came to me. Normally a doctor or whatever. I had to walk back. I was dizzy, all that stuff. And then they called me to the stewards, and I kind of told them what I think about that.
And then they were like, oh, he's just a little bit upset that he made a mistake. You guys can go. And that's how it happens.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically, he just got us out of trouble for his rant.
So then you got the shit or what?
Yeah, they blamed him in the end. The stewards.
Yeah, because I probably insulted them.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Edo were like, oh my God. It was good.
I had a headache. I know there was nobody there. You idiot.
I mean, also, to be honest, to win that championship was really cool. We'd like worked really hard the previous year, and we worked really hard in the winter time to come together with a proper plan. And I think at times we didn't have the best car, but we executed, I would say, like nearly a perfect season in like 2019. So that was also a cool moment.
That's where we were strong. Is that I was pushing things to the limit, and you were pushing things to the limit, but on another way.
Yeah.
And we always collected the stuff. And
Yeah, because you couldn't save fuel at all.
you know,
I
in
also
the beginning,
bad at
in the
this.
beginning I couldn't, and now I'm quite good at it actually.
Yeah.
But I learned it from
No,
Okay.
I'm
at
not
the
bad at
stink
fuel
length in
saving, but
Portimao.
if I don't fuel save, I burn a lot of fuel. I had it in Monza because we
This I
had
have the same. If I drive normal, I burn a lot of
I
fuel.
am
But
the-
if you ask me to save fuel, I can do it quite well, I think.
Have you seen his steering trace sometimes as well?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Before you breaks. Like,
That's gone as well now, a little bit.
Did you get rid of it?
A bit.
Yeah.
but why did you have it?
Like
That explains why you were
Because
slow last year.
It makes the it like doesn't it like I mean it cannot be good when you brake without ABS, no?
It didn't do anything.
No, but it's really funny because
It's like
one time for a while, he tried to get rid of it. And when he tried to get rid of it, he went really slow.
If you see
And
me
he
doing
just
this, so
couldn't-
before people are listening and know what we're talking about, I like kind of like move my steering
How?
wheel before I brake. No, it's literally like this. I even sometimes make the sound. I
you
think.
make the
Yeah,
sound
no, when he really concentrates, he makes a.
It's true. I once recorded. It was with you when we go rental karting. They were electrical go karts.
Oh, the sim on the sim, no, as well.
Electrical go karts, and I had a GoPro, and you hear me like. That means I'm trying to push. That together with the steering wheel movement.
And the steering wheel movement, the intensity of it is how big he's pushing.
Yeah.
So if you have a look this weekend and you see no steering wheel movement, they're just cruising
Then he's
before
not
Le
pushing,
Mans.
yeah.
He's
It's
not
true,
pushing.
actually. It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do it, but.
Alrighty. I don't have that problem.
But yeah, to go back that year, because we went to the winter to Core and we sat down with our engineer and had a whole list of stuff we can do. And we wanted to have an office with screens and to watch data and video. And I remember we come to the first race with like a full office with 4 screens and laptops, keyboards, office space. And 9/11, they still had this thing from last year. They just had like a small laptop. And they came in our office and Nick was like, "Huh? What happened here?"
No,
that
but
was,
it
what made us strong.
Yeah, it was
those kind
really
of
good.
things.
We were like really pushing each other, and that's what made it strong. And I think we took it to like another level on that, if you know what I mean, and also probably set the bar to continue. Because I
Yeah.
see you still have it at Porsche
Yeah,
now,
I
at
was doing
like
it
the
all the
LMP
time.
and stuff like that. You just follow it along.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we take it other places as well. So it's sort of now become standard, if you know what I mean. And that was something cool to sort of change the game a little bit on that.
I have 3 memorable.
Oh yeah, what have you
Moments.
got?
The first one was I have 3. The Mudfest in Virginia.
When
see
you guys
this?
got stuck in the
So I parked my car in front of the motorhome, and it was already muddy. It was on sand, and it was raining a lot. And then it was like a Dodge Charger, like a stupid, fun car, but like stupid car. Tried leaving, and the thing was stuck. Obviously, we
I
were
saw the
trying
pictures.
front, backwards. Earl trying, me trying, and then at one point Earl was pushing. I don't remember what we tried, but anyway, I was
No, we
trying
got
to
it
move.
rocking, and then
Yeah.
I got it to go, and then he just went.
It went, and I was like, I'm going. So I like floored it the whole time, like just full. So I was moving, and I was moving like this, but it took us still a minute to go out. And I got the car out. And
Turned around, and I was like,
he was completely brown from head to toe. Even the motorhome was completely brown. Everything was full of mud, and he was standing like.
and you had to pay like $200 to clean that motorhome
Yeah.
too, right? You were so upset.
Maybe I can put the video in the YouTube clip.
Yeah,
because
you should. That was a good one.
that was hilarious.
Actually, I remember a really good one now as well. I'll see if you bring it up.
The other one was when we had a big thunderstorm coming in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah,
Remember
that
we
was
were
good.
in the race, day before the race, the practice, or the whole weekend. This is going to be a huge thunderstorm tomorrow. We're probably not going to drive, 90% chance the day will get cancelled. So we're like, yeah, okay. And it was our first year together, I think. And we were nowhere in the championship. It was the last race of the year, and we were like, okay, let's go have dinner. And we had some wine. And we had 2 or 3 glasses of wine each, and it was, 11 in the evening, so before we went to bed. And normally, you know me, never do that, because I'm like, fuck, tomorrow we won't drive, so we can have a bit of fun. And then wake up in the morning, open the windows, full sunshine. Like, oh, shit. Went to track. I think practice we finished like first and second.
We were always first, every session.
Okay. And then we were the next team. Well, that worked pretty well. It was a good day. Let's do it again. So I went for dinner. Again, had a bit of wine. A bit too much. We were not really drunk, but technically it was a bit too much wine for a normal day. And next day, I think we qualified on pole and went great. And then we were like, okay, tomorrow's a race. Maybe we should be a bit more serious because...
No, Lawrence was like, now I'm going to race and we need to win because we're on pole. I'm going to be super serious. And he went to bed at 8.
Yeah, exactly. Next morning, warm-up, outlap, third corner, lock the wheel, straight on the wall.
And I mean, we nearly didn't make the race.
Yeah.
Like, it was that close.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it was like touch and go for 5 minutes that he wasn't going to make it.
And then we were leading again, and you hit the GTD car with like half an hour to go. We're going to drive through. And we're like, fuck, maybe we should stick to our original plan.
Stick to the wine.
Red wine, yeah. And then, what's your third one? I've got a good one.
The bar in Daytona.
Oh, that one. Where you nearly killed us.
We were like, after going back to, I don't remember when it was, but we were with Patrick and Nick and you and me. And we were on the way to the hotel, and there was a bar full of, the parking was completely full. And we're like, that looks fun, let's go and have a look. And we went, we parked, and there was some rapper making a dodgy video on the parking spot, and we're like, okay. We went in, they did like full body checking on
there was
guns.
A sheriff with a shotgun at the front door.
Yeah.
And Lawrence was like, no, this is normal, it's fine. Look, there's lots of people.
And we walked in, and we were like, act normal. Because we were like the four, I mean, we can say it that way. It was maybe 100 people, 200 people.
Yeah, it was full.
And we were the four only white people in the whole place. And not saying anything funny, but we were a bit like, maybe we should. It's not really the place for us to be at. So, like let's have one drink and then we go. And then Nick went to the toilet, and he was proposed like cocaine, ecstasy, and whatever. And he came out. We need to go. And I was like, okay, let's go.
That was an interesting.
That was Daytona, the real part of Daytona.
No, the other good one for me was we were going to Lime Rock, and it was the year where we were leading the championship, I think. I don't know where. Yeah, and Lawrence calls me and he goes, he's very serious about his training. He goes, I've had a small problem. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, what have you done? And he goes, I fell off my bike. And he goes, I think I've hurt my hands, but I think I can still drive. It'll be okay. So... And he goes, but just please don't tell anyone from Porsche because, I don't want them to think that I can't ride my bike. And it's okay. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So he comes on like Wednesday and I see him and the guy has both hands in full bandages. And I was like, what are you going to do? And he's like, no, I think I can still drive. And I'm like, yeah, you should tell them. And he's like, no, it'll be fine. No one will notice. Right. So we go. First of all, his hands are weeping and bleeding everywhere. So then we're trying to drive around Lime Rock, finding a medical center to buy new bandages because he won't tell the doctor that he's got this issue. So then in the trailer, we had to lock the door, and then I had to take his bandages off and redo his hands. And then we tried to put a hand in a glove. It didn't fit. So then we're like, shit. So then we cut his glove open to try and fit it in, and we still couldn't get this glove to fit. So then we went to the local race shop at the track and bought the biggest XXXL gloves. Right? So then we finally found some gloves that we could shove over his hands. And then he was just like, okay, I can't do this, I can't put these on, so I'm just going to come out of the truck with my helmet and everything on when I go to the car. And then he did this, and then he came out to the car, and then we did the session. He crashed in the session because you
spun.
You touched the wall.
No,
yeah.
I just spun, really.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, he hit the curb, and because his finger was broken,
Yeah.
it hurt him so much he had to let go of the steering wheel, and he went up the straight and spun because he couldn't get hold of the steering wheel again. And then he gave it to me and got out, and he couldn't take off his gloves, so he'd taken off his helmet, but he was just walking around with his gloves.
I now remember this driver change practice.
Yeah.
Because I broke my little finger, and every time I hit something, it's like...
And then we went into the office at the end of the debrief, and they could tell something was wrong, and they were like, and Lawrence was sitting in the debrief like this with his hands, and they were like,
You were still wearing the gloves, or what were you doing?
I don't remember, but no, you had the gloves off, but he was like always in his hands in his pockets and like just underneath. And then I remember Stefan coming to Lawrence and being like, so Lawrence, have you got anything to tell us? And he was like, well, actually maybe and he just raised up his hands, and they were like,
Well, we finished second. This I remember.
no, I mean, to be honest, to his credit, I think you slammed it on the front row.
Yeah?
And then you did the world's shortest first stint because your hands were...
Well, this is always in Lime Rock anyway.
Yeah, but it was still funny, and then drove the rest of it, and he had broken hands. He went back home and he was like, "Oh yeah, my hand's broken."
The finger was broken.
That was a good Vanthoor moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not the proudest moment, but...
The
I
other
remember.
good one was when you were really slow in Spa that year,
Which
and
one?
Vincent thought that you were on wets when you were actually on slicks, or something like that.
The year we won.
Yeah,
in
the year we won, and
qualifying.
you qualified 3 seconds slower than everyone in the top
Yeah.
shootout.
Was on
Still something
purpose.
wrong.
No,
No, it wasn't.
Was that the year I wasn't? No.
The year where you cheated.
I didn't cheat, you idiot.
what'd you do?
Nothing. There was tape
Ah, you
around
got
the
this-
airbox. But every Audi and every Lamborghini has tape around the airbox.
Why?
Just to
To cover up the hole.
To
they
cover up
made.
the hole so it
No.
sucks the air in.
No, to keep it attached like a safety thing.
Duct tape.
I don't know what tape. Duct tape, Gorilla tape, I don't know.
No, but you mean the year where we won Spa?
Yeah.
In the end. I'm still convinced there was something wrong.
No, because he was 3 seconds too slow, and I remember Vincent coming up to him and being like, I forget if they qualified on wets or slicks, but
It was wet.
yeah, well, Vincent thought that he was on the opposite tire. Like, hey mate, why'd you take slicks to be so slow? And Lawrence was like, no, I was on wets. And then we went and won.
Oh.
That was a crazy race.
Yeah, that was a wild race.
We won it, and I'm happy about it, but it was not the most fun somehow.
Yeah, but
My
also,
memory back.
no, it was not a fun weekend actually. And then the last lap when we were
With Nick.
watching, and then the diff blew
Yeah.
up.
In the last
Because
lap.
we had a horrible year at that point, I think.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
everything was terrible.
So it was we were praying for it to be a good race, and yeah.
You hear that car was bent, huh?
Oh, it
Our
wouldn't surprise me.
2020 car. No, not that one. The other one.
The RSR?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it. Because we had was it the new RSR that year?
Yeah.
We were normally, with all due respect to 911, but we were beating them 75% of the time. And that year we were nowhere.
Yeah, but
Nobody-
also I drove both the cars at
Yeah, in Sebring.
in Sebring, and yeah, I'm not there anymore. And I can tell you they were definitely not the same. I was quicker in the middle of the day with one than I was in the middle of the night on the soft the other.
Yeah, we were struggling the
We
whole
were
year, and
just
then
so
we were getting frustrated and having crashes, and it was
It was
difficult.
not fun.
Being friends in motorsport, do you guys think it's possible or not?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Like Vanthoor friends, or just friends also with other people? Even also when you're racing?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're friends with people, you definitely, let's say, respect some people more than others. We've had that conversation of you've been on the podcast when you think about who's your favorite and non-favorite driver. But, I think there's definitely some drivers that you respect out there, and honestly, you can race them hard and well, but then still have a conversation about it afterwards. And there's a few that you can't because they're just like that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think you can be friends, but ultimately you're still going to dive them to win a 24-hour race, right? You're not going to just give it to them because it's your mate. You're
No,
gonna,
of course.
I think all of us would, sell your mum to win.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? It's the same
it is.
thing.
It's the same thing we had with us, or even I think less with us because we're brothers, but I think you and me, for me, was one of the best relationships I had over the years in terms of teammate. And it's nice because you have trust, you have fun, it's nice to work and you enjoy life. But if the point comes and there's one door to the one left LMP1 seat or whatever, you're gonna run for that door.
Yeah, of course.
That's the thing in sport, and that's sport, and that's normal. I think that doesn't change the respect or the friendship you have, but it's still a sport, and it's difficult to have that.
No, it's true.
And I mean, there's one element in our sport to do a good job as a driver, but there's another element in the sport to make sure that you end up in the right car at the right moment in the right place and time, and that's also part of the game. You know, it's why you're at BMW now. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, those are decisions that you have to make. And, yeah, it's the same if there's one. I mean, look at Porsche. Everyone wanted to drive for Penske. And I'm sure there's some people that are upset. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not hungry, if you're not pushing yourself to go in those seats, then someone else is going to take it because there's, you know, 100 people that want that seat. You know, I think everyone in the paddock would want it, if you know what I mean. So it is competitive on that element. But, yeah, at the same time, you're still good friends with everyone, if you know what I mean. So...
It's like the time you threw me under the bus for Sebring.
Sebring?
When you went on 2 cars.
Oh, yeah, that was good. I had a great suggestion.
I was so pissed off.
What?
He was so angry.
There was, I don't know exactly, there was multiple Porsche races. And because of COVID, I think Sebring was at the end of the year.
Yeah, and for some
year,
reason we couldn't have Gemini. Where was he?
Gemini and Campbell were busy.
Yeah.
So we had...
it was a whack weekend or something like that, and
we could have had one third driver. I'm not going to name him, but he was not particularly quick. Or we had a list of drivers, and all of them were or not experienced or not really quick in the RSR. So we were like, we'll take one and we'll let him do the start, and then we'll drive on the rest. But 911 didn't want to. They wanted to drive by just the 2 of them.
Exactly.
Which strategically wouldn't work or something.
You can't do it.
And then we were in a meeting. And fat ass here says like, oh, I can drive on both cars.
Yeah, why don't you just put the other driver with Lawrence and I'll drive both?
Exactly. So I ended up with the slower driver, and he was doing both cars, and like we were like completely compromised on strategy because of that, and we were like completely in the shit. And he was driving both cars, having 2 chances to win, and he won. He finished first and second.
Yeah, I finished first and second.
And I was like, wow, thanks, mate.
Who was your teammate then?
Who?
On your car?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
You can't. Oh, sorry.
Not gonna cut that out.
Oh.
You can take a look if you want.
I can find that. What year was it?
He wasn't too bad actually, but he was.
No, it's just that they weren't experienced. And to be honest, 911 wanted to try win the Endurance Cup.
Yeah, I think that was.
They needed to be at the front the whole time for the Endurance Cup. That's what it mainly was. And I think they nearly did it, but
Good
then.
excuse.
No, but then there was something to do with the fuel, right? I think they...
Yeah, they got a lap short of fuel.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Well, let's ask what do you still would like to achieve in your career?
Ooh, there's a couple things I still want to achieve. I want to get another Le Mans. That's a big motivation. It was a big motivation to go to Cadillac, to try to do it with another manufacturer, and bring them in an American team, or an American manufacturer. They're pretty highly motivated to do it, so that's right up there. Beat Lawrence at it. Make sure he doesn't get that 100th anniversary trophy. He's been posting about it.
Post about everything. So
yeah, exactly. No, to be honest, I really want to win Daytona overall as well. We've come second a few times. Lawrence has now managed to win it. So
Daytona?
You didn't win Daytona yet?
No.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
I actually thought you had with all your faff stuff.
No.
Okay. Well, we both still need to win Daytona, so I want to do that overall, and then Nürburgring. So yeah, those are the things that I really want to win. To be honest, those are the last big ones. Then I've got the whole collection.
Yeah, then you won basically everything.
The quadruple crown, if you call it that way.
So what is it?
Nobody ever won it.
So. No one's
so
done
it's
it.
Daytona, Le Mans, Spa, Nürburgring.
No, those are 4, yeah. Quadruple.
Yeah.
So you also need still 2.
Yeah. Well, it's overall. Overall, nobody, as far as I am correct, because I checked with a lot of journalists, nobody's ever achieved that, to win those 4 races overall in his career. There are a lot of people who are close at the moment. Like Nick only needs Daytona.
Yeah.
Nick has quite an impressive palmarès, to be honest.
Exactly.
And there's a couple of other, like Timo only was missing 1 race, but yeah, he retired now.
No, he won.
Same was with Mark Lieb, but he retired as well. There's a lot of them who have 3, but nobody ever done the 4.
Ooh.
In class, yeah, but not overall.
Exactly.
So, okay. Copy?
But you're
What
so
do you
far
need?
away,
You
all
need-
of them.
No, I need Daytona, Le Mans, and Spa.
You haven't run Spa.
No. I got second once, but yeah. Maybe this year. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Are you going to do Spa?
Yeah, Pro-Am.
Okay.
I to be honest, I can't be bothered to do a pro car. You know, it's a lot of effort.
Yeah, sure.
And the main focus is like WEC. So I do it with Brenton and Steve Grove in my own team. And it's, to be honest, it's good fun. Like that race is really cool to do when it's a good fun weekend. But to be honest, I just don't want to deal with the stress of, you know, having to do the whole thing on pro cars. You know what it's like. So.
Well, I'll ask you the last question, Earl.
Oh, yeah?
It's been emotional so far.
I remember how he said pre-show that Reese would stop saying, my next question is, and the last question is, and my next question is for Lawrence. No, it's for Dries.
You should maybe get some little cue cards on your hand or something
You
like
should
that.
have somebody behind me with a board.
You should invest in one of those like monitor things.
Yeah,
you know,
which
that
just has
Reese
to
can
read
just
what's-
read from it.
The most impressive teammate you've ever had, beside Lawrence? Well, I mean, did he ride himself? So, I mean,
Beside Lawrence, Tandy.
yeah?
Yeah, Tandy. He's impressive. I mean, he's impressive from the speed, but he's also impressive from the work ethic because, no, I mean, you laugh, but he works hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, but he wants to, I think he wants that perception that he doesn't work hard, but I mean, you do
He's
anything.
smart.
He's smart and he do anything in the data and he sees it. Like he's all
But he
over.
pretends like he never watches anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if he works as hard as we.
No, he works
Nah,
very
nobody
hard.
works as hard as you. I don't think
I
so.
think.
No,
You think?
he works hard. Yeah.
Yeah. But he doesn't behind the scenes. Like we have no problem speaking about it or showing it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
but-
like,
Do you work hard
I
as
mean-
well?
I mean, you don't become fast and win races from doing nothing.
that's your thing. Everybody works hard, but the 90% just doesn't tell it. Look at René Rast. He always said, "Oh, I don't watch it. I don't watch video." He's one of the guys who watches the most. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I
He-
know from
he
people he
uses-
sometimes stay until 11 or midnight.
Yeah, I
in
know,
the-
but
in the paddock.
he does that, and he can use it. He can use it. He can he
So
can
you don't?
use it. He can convert it.
You don't? It's just raw talent.
No,
pure
I don't
ability.
know. I'm not a. I mean, I watched Data this weekend, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
No
Well,
video.
Yeah, after qualifying.
just to wank on his own lap.
Just to say how good his own lap was.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I work, but yeah, I don't know. Compared to others, probably not as much.
No, I mean, he has also got a driver coach as well.
Who?
Nick?
Yeah.
On the IMSA races,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
I asked for that this year, actually, the driver coach.
Why?
It's
We have one, actually.
you like you say, oh, why? But it's
a driver coach.
Yeah.
a guy who the whole day watches every lap, video, data, whatever there is to watch, and comes to you with the summary. Who does the work,
like
but
this.
comes to you with like, okay, this is what you need to do. Instead of you spending 3 hours watching data, he does it, and he comes to you and tells you what's up. Especially with these cars, how complicated they are on the age, with all the settings and this and that. He goes on track and watches and makes videos, and I had this
You-
conversation. I'm convinced this is would be a benefit for.
Yeah, we have.
You
that.
have it now.
No, I asked for it, but we don't. But
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one guy that's just doing this. all day long.
And he's
It's
raced himself.
actually Nick's guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
And-
not very happy about it.
No?
And he raced himself, I guess, yeah. Or not.
Yeah, he has. No, but he's just done that for years, and it is a help. Like, because, racing's a weird sport. It's the only sport in the world that you don't have a coach.
Yeah.
Golf, tennis, everyone has a coach, and we all like to think that we're superstars and that we're absolutely perfect. But
But we aren't.
yeah, but that's also impossible.
Yeah, that's also true.
You have good and bad days. You have good and bad days on the bike, running. So you have to have good and bad days in the race car. And everyone just seems to think that just because we sit in the race car, we're doing an absolutely perfect job all the time. But it's not. And there's a lot of free lap time in tuning the drivers and to make sure you get everything right. So,
No, I
even just
definitely-
someone to, if you have a bad session or get the bad tires, just to analyze where you really are and tell you the honest truth about, you're doing a good job or you need to pick your pace up, because, it is kind of difficult. Like, it's also easy to convince yourself that, I am doing a good job. I don't need to,
it's-
when you look at your own data. So
especially
it's
WEC with the tires and the fuel, and it's even more complicated to make a picture.
exactly. So at least someone can collectively tell you
Yeah.
and make a picture and be like, this is where you're at and
Yeah.
this is where you need to improve. And it is a help, honestly.
Yeah, gonna bring
I'm
it up.
surprised more people don't do it. And
It makes sense. It's
Racing
just because it's not you get used to it.
yeah,
For
exactly.
people, it's not the norm. Let's say like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also hard to find the right person to do it too.
In general, I think this is a topic in motorsports, is that brands and teams from the past just expect that's the driver, he'll show up, he'll drive, and he'll sort out his stuff. But it's becoming more and more of these kind of things, of coaching and of having a workstation to actually do your work and find the last tens and be fit and watch your food. And we had a discussion at Fitness Camp about food. Sebring, we had, no offense, I like America, but the American food, burgers and lasagna, I mean, that's not how
But there's a
professional
driver's
sports
station.
work. Yeah, I know, but we can go in detail. But you know what I mean. Everybody always expects from us to do everything, but there's actually no tools for us to do. Even like normal people, like, how often do you train? I say, well, we don't train because it's not possible. Okay, it's not possible, but this is in like so many other aspects of motorsport as well.
Yeah. Copy.
Do you have a question for the Vanthoor brothers to end it off?
Ooh.
You're not obliged.
I didn't really. I didn't come.
Didn't come prepared.
I didn't come prepared. Let's see. What are you going to get next on the show?
Just going to talk about that. We were thinking about getting not this setup, but a little setup in Le Mans, and then trying to do 2 or 3 people.
You probably have to pay the ACO for that. It's not like the Coca-Cola
It's
stuff.
again, if you don't ask and you sit in the trailer, nobody knows.
I'll be there with the...
So I thought Jordan Taylor would be funny. René Rast.
Yeah.
And he wants to do that. I asked him.
Yeah, I asked him as well in Munich.
And then maybe a third one.
Maxime wants to do it as well.
Roger Penske. Imagine that.
I asked Rossi want to do it. I told you already last time, but it will be happening only at Spa.
You think Roger would do it?
No.
Chip might.
Well, yeah.
Jackie Hicks?
I think nobody would
What?
dare to ask Roger. I think if you would have the balls to ask him, or the people who are
just
responsible,
ask him.
you wouldn't say. I wouldn't be surprised if you said, yeah, fine.
What about Jimmy?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson at Le Mans.
I don't know him at all.
I can ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just ask
Do
the
you
guy.
actually know who Jimmy Johnson is?
Yeah, I know. Fucking idiot.
Well-
Just ask them. They ask the guy.
Yeah.
Just
I'm gonna ask everyone.
just ask Roger, hey mate, you want to come on the podcast?
I wouldn't be surprised if he would.
But do you actually speak with him?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, then
He's
just ask
there
him.
all the time, everywhere. It's
Yeah.
impressive because last Portimao it was NASCAR, it was IndyCar and IMSA in America, and he came to Portimao and WEC.
Wow.
And
That's
like he follows everything. He comes to you and asks you, you did this roll bar at the test in Spa 4 weeks ago. How was it? It looked to be good. You're like, yeah. Are you driving it now? No. Why?
No, but that's cool to see.
You should bring like Adam Hardy on here, I reckon.
Yeah,
That would be a good one.
that would be nice.
There'd be some great stories, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're well over the 1 hour mark, so I'll have to cut some bullshit out of what Dries said again.
Probably.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Earl.
Thank you.
It was
good to
emotional.
catch up. Yeah, it was. I'm about to go get another great coffee.
Yep. Going to Spa then later today?
Yep. Going to Spa, check out the team, go get a nice dinner with the boys, and
Let's see if I meet you on track this weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening. You can watch it on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us some extra cash, and you can listen on Apple and Spotify.
Exactly.
And Google and.
do we get
OnlyFans.
paid an appearance fee on this?
No.
Normally, you have to bring a gift.
Yeah.
A gift?
Yes.
I bought myself.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know if that's a
I
gift.
can give
but
I can give Lawrence a T-shirt.
Yeah, fine.
Doesn't have any.
I have one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay.
All right.
Cheerio.
Thanks,
Ciao.
everyone. Ciao, ciao.